We're going to go ahead and jump into this Donald Trump situation, all right? So just to give you some context on it, Donald Trump was, would you say he turned himself in if he already knew that, you know what I mean, that he was getting banged up or what? Would you?
I guess because he actually did walk in there. Ain't like they came and got him.
The key word is walked because there was no handcuffs, no mugshot involved in this.
At all.
So.
Although I don't have no care for this whole political garbage anyway, but I would have liked to see him take that perp walk.
I think Donald Trump would have liked to see him take the perp walk. But I think it's one of those things that
anybody can get it.
They're like, nah, we're not even going to give him that much, power. I think they're more or less afraid that, stuff like that would kind of spark up his so-called base, which they're not going to act up in New York. New York is not Washington, D.C.
I'm gonna be honest. It was kind of anticlimactic for me. I actually was waiting for it to be set off. I was watching CNBC, like, let's get it.
Yeah, you thought the revolution was about to be televised.
Yeah,
Jay is all about the foolishness. I want to see some riots. I want to see some people get their heads split open. And guess what? The beauty of it all, I guess, is because it has nothing to do with us. This is not a Black Lives Matter situation, folks. So stand back and stand by. We have nothing to do with it.
Right. I was just watching the movie. Yeah. That's it.
I was watching it all day too, right? And the funny thing is, you ever looked at them police on the police line, man? They look like us, man. They ain't having it, man. They ain't having it, man.
Nah. This ain't DC. Because Mayor Adams told him, I'm paraphrasing, but in good old fashioned speak, you saying, yo, don't come out here and act up.
Yeah. and if you do, we got something for you. I heard him this morning.
Yeah. It was all hands on deck. They had everybody out there, and you got people probably had the day off, man. Little cops had a day off, and it's like, yo, you got to come in for this foolishness.
Give the Proud Boys an open invitation. Come on down there if you want to.
Yeah, you can if you want to. And I tell you what, it's not just a black thing or whatever.
No.
You're busy with you out there too.
Let me tell you, I told somebody at work, I said, it won't be the minority or so-called minorities. It won't be us. It'll be them liberal white folk, man, that turn this into a whole different ball game, man.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see it. I really did want to see it. I almost feel like.
Did you feel cheated by the experience?
Yes, absolutely. Because I mean, they ran down on DC, and he wasn't even going to jail then. So they indicted him. They brought him up on charges. I expected his base to storm the building. I was really ready for that.
What's the name? You said the Wild. What's the group? The Wild Boys, is it? Or
the Proud Boys?
The Proud Boys. I guess the Proud Boys said, "Hey, nah, we're gonna miss that one right there."
Also, the fact that
they really about it, or they just fronting?
Well, people
don't pump fake Proud Boys. We need to see it.
People actually went to prison over this. So they're like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing. They learned. Now, if nobody went to prison the first time that happened in D.C., then you might have seen something.
So you mean to tell me the Proud Boys are scared of going to prison?
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, man. That's what it's about, man.
What do you think? What they have out there? The mighty brother, Aryan brother?
Yeah.
You'll be welcome with open arms.
That's it. They waiting for you over there. They got you.
For you.
I'm tired of seeing y'all protesting Iowa and the Midwest and stuff like that. Come on down. Come on up north.
Nah.
Come up on north. see if you really mean what you're saying.
Right.
So yeah, he got hit with those 34 counts. It might be 34 and counting at this point because Alvin Bragg was kind of short on that press conference, to be quite honest with you. So what I'm gonna do is I'll play a clip from it. And then, you guys give me your analysis on this one, all right? So this was Alvin Bragg, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, speaking to reporters after charging Trump with 34 counts of basically fraud. Here we go, guys.
And now let's hear from the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg.
Here today. Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned on a New York Supreme Court indictment returned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about. 34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York state, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. The defendant repeatedly made false statements on New York business records. He also caused others to make false statements. The defendant claimed that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017. This simply was not true. And it was a false statement that the defendant made month after month in 2017. April, May, June, and so on through the rest of the year. For 9 straight months, the defendant held documents in his hand containing this key lie, that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017. And he personally signed checks for payments to Michael Cohen for each of these 9 months. In total, the grand jury found there were 34 documents with this critical false statement.
It really is ridiculous. I mean, it seems to me that anytime a man in that position decides to get himself a little trim, it's an issue. Just say it.
Andre, you could tell none of these people was from the street, man.
Oh, James.
Well,
I'm just saying, man. Like that's really what he cried about.
No,
the whole time he's sitting there, like he kept lying to us about paying that girl that money.
That girl, they didn't care nothing about that Stormy Daniels situation. That was just the door opening. Yeah. You think she's the only person that he probably paid for some situation?
But that from what I heard is he keep lying to us about what happened with that. The reason why that was going on. The money was exchanging hands, and we don't like it, so we want to prosecute you. This is really a ridiculous. Ridiculous the fact that they used the voters' money to do this. This is a waste of time, and I'm honestly upset about it. I can't believe that they're doing this.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
I got to correct you, brother. He lied to them. I didn't vote.
Yeah, shout out to me. Again,
you already know where I stand with that. I was trying to act like I'm a citizen and give it to him like that. It's ridiculous.
I pride myself on being. I never had a voter's registration card, man. They're gonna get mad at me. Get mad at me. I don't care. Hey, but listen, they can't be from the street, man. Why would you give somebody $130,000 of hush money? You know what's going to happen when you give somebody $130,000 worth of hush money?
They're going to want more.
They're going to want more hush money. It's about the stupidest thing possible.
She's not the only one. I think she's the only one that made some noise.
Actually, it sounds like from that press conference that
and that wasn't that we'd only played a portion of the press conference. Is it?
Yes, it sounds like from that press conference, he's kind of like insinuating that there's some more stuff and some more payments that was made off to different people. And I think they was trying to say allegedly that there might be another woman involved or something like that.
Well, a lot of the pundits were saying that this is not the only person. There might possibly be some more tapes out there with conversations. Of course, Fannie Willis is on his back too, for trying to bribe political official out there about getting more votes. And that was actually on record. Like he was on a phone call. They had the recordings of it. So they said that there's more recordings that's going to come out after this.
This is the thing. If he's being indicted, don't they have to show that as, reasoning to bring him up on these charges? They can't just hold that in their back pocket.
I think the story is fluid. I think they're going to have more stuff come out. That's probably what they just want to give the public today.
Well, what I do know from this is the bottom line to this. They just want to keep him from running. That's it. I don't believe he's going to jail or anything like that. I think they just want to keep him from running.
Well, I told you guys, man, this court, this trial, the next time he sees the inside of a courtroom will be in December of next year. So that kind of gives you time to cast your ballot if you want to. And
it's ridiculous.
If he runs, according to a pundit, if he runs, that even if he's charged and he can still be president, and he will have to serve his prison term on a military base because he still has to have Secret Service as president, and he can still be president from prison, which would probably be the first time in American history that you have something like that. So, they saying also that even if he goes to jail, he can still run. Which, if a felon can't vote, I don't understand how they can be president. But they were saying as long as you meet the requirements, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think one of the requirements is that you have to have like a squeaky clean prison record. Am I correct or no?
Here's the crazy thing about that is that if you are a prisoner or just been released from prison, you can't vote.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Not only can't you vote, you can't become a doctor. In some states, you can't become a lawyer and actually take the bar. So I mean, this is ridiculous. I bet you it's only this case because Trump is a Caucasian. If Trump was a brother or a sister,
if it was Barack, this would be
it'd be a done deal. Period.
All right. So the Constitution lists only 3 qualifications for presidency. The president must be at least 35 years of age, be a natural-born citizen, and must have lived in the United States for at least 14 years. So I guess you can be in prison and run for president.
Yeah, I guess if you could raise the amount of capital that it would take to run the campaign, I guess they can't stop you.
It's sick, man.
Yeah, but that whole process.
But if you get locked up for anything else in the world, then everything is taken from you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but
can't protect your family.
But you can still run the country.
Yeah. Something is really wrong with that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Country is run by criminals anyway, so I mean,
it's a fact.
Stretch.
Right.
That's a fact, man. Yeah, and like J. Bob said, although I'm not a big fan of Trump, I'm being objective. I watched that whole press conference, man, and it seemed fugazi.
Exactly.
It just seemed fugazi. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do believe the fact that they actually had to put on this whole show and had to lock down New York City to an extent that there's enough for them to possibly stop him from running for president again. I believe that there's something that's going to jack him up there.
I don't believe it. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't believe it. Because we have no footage of what's happening in the courtroom. When OJ went to trial, you heard everything that was said, whispers, everything. Trump going here for an indictment. You hear they kick all the cameras out. No regular people is in there. Something ain't right.
But do you think that's
I think he chose that.
Yeah. Well, I thought he wanted the cameras and everything, but I believe they probably did that because we're not going to give this guy this much, attention. If you want to say that.
If anything, you make it more of a conspiracy for the fact that you don't know what happened inside that room. You don't know what was said. You really don't know what the indictment is.
I think they should open it up to the public more than anybody else because he is the president. Well, he was the president. I think they should open his up.
I'm just saying, like, if criminal trials can be put on TV, why not this?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and then, to go back to my other point, this is according to the New York Times, right? It says any indictment or conviction would not bar Mr. Trump from running. A clean criminal record is not among the criteria of the Constitution set for who is eligible to be president. Officials who have been impeached and convicted of high crimes and misdemeanors may be barred from future office, but the Senate acquitted Mr. Trump at both his impeachment trials, so he can still run.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Good to be the king. And again, I think it's all a political scam just to muddy his name before the campaign. The crazy thing about that is I don't think his base cares.
Well, whether he go to prison or not?
I think if he goes to prison, I don't think his base cares.
I think it'll be more popular.
I do.
I think it'll be more popular.
And if he walks out of this and not get arrested or if he walks out of this move, it'll make him stronger. Either way, I believe it's still going to be a good thing for him.
If this trial, starts in December, around the time, I guess, election time, I think his numbers will go up.
It's sad to say.
I believe his numbers will go up. And I mean, this is something that we definitely going to keep an eye on because I think this whole martyr complex that he's about to play, he might want to see himself right back in the White House.
I don't believe in America, man.
I don't believe in America.
I don't believe in America. I believe anything that's corrupt and disgusting can be processed here with no problem, man. Yeah. And I believe it. I don't believe in it, man. I don't have that kind of faith.
I feel
not in America.
I feel the same way. If you got enough money and you got the right complexion for the connection, anything's possible.
This just the fact off of this whole stipulation here. What do you tell the babies? If you go to jail, if you go to prison, you can actually be president.
This is the reality of the world.
You can actually be president. You tell them you can't get a job, you can't do this, but you can run for president.
You can't get a job. You'll never be able to protect your family again, but you can run for president if you can get the money.
What do we tell the kids, man?
You know what's so funny? What's so funny about that is that all black kids already know this is a sham, man. I mean,
hey, you know what though? That's
probably
not
messing
true.
up some white children.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not true. There are some black kids that they may have a different race for parents, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't know.
It's two Americas, brother.
Yeah.
Two Americas.
Listen, man. I know the kids in Brooklyn and in Philadelphia and California, in Compton and whatever like that. They're probably sitting there looking like this is what it is, man.
Yeah, it's par for the course. We know what it is.
Take a special person to be president. All right, y'all. So
let me say this before we go and get off this topic. Proud Boys, we all at? Where y'all at, man? You gotta show me something.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Come on now. I know y'all ain't scared.
So you're saying that Alvin Bragg is pump faking right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on up here and get. Come on up here and get some.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who ain't gonna be pump faking is old Fannie. Fannie Willis is on his back. Fannie Willis said, "I'm locking up presidents, rappers, anybody I can get my hands."
Yeah, she just went public. She just went public.
Yeah. Oh, listen, let me tell you something about Fannie. Fannie is on your back.
Fannie is on your back.
Fannie is on your back. Fannie trying to be the next. I don't know what a position she's trying for, but she's gonna get it.
She probably want attorney. She probably trying to be attorney general.
Talk about stepping on people's necks to get ahead.
That's messed up.
Fannie will step on your neck, kick you in your back, whatever you gotta do.
Look, we already talked about this, but I got to get your thoughts just because you made that statement. But do you think she was wrong about the YSL thing?
Yeah.
Let's just go back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And she knows she wrong. That's the crazy part about it. But this is bad. This is the more bad part about it, right? See, we as black people, we've been so conditioned that it's just the way it is. They're gonna trump your charges up, and you just got to deal with it. No, that ain't right. I'm not saying that brother didn't have no criminal history. They didn't do whatever it is that they did, but to lock him up like that and throw RICO on him is ridiculous. That's corny.
Yeah, I think that I think this stuff that they're doing with these RICO cases, man, this is not a criminal enterprise.
At all. It's not organized crime.
It's not organized crime, man. And I think they've taken this RICO stuff and gotten crazy with it. It's now you got kids in New York that's saying they blood in some gang or whatever the case may be. They lock up 50 of them and call it a RICO case. And they ain't doing nothing. Don't get me wrong. They are doing crime. Some of them are doing crime.
Some of them.
Yeah, but not everybody's doing crime.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Some of them are just in the neighborhood.
Some just in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And a lot of them probably just chumps that wanted to get down to keep from being harassed every day.
Yeah, when they trying to go to school. Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, I believe she's going a little crazy with it.
But if it's so much, if they running around and doing all these RICO cases, why they ain't put RICOs on the mob? The mob still is a real thing. Why they ain't put RICOs on the MX-13s? That's a real thing.
But I think one thing I have to give her this is that I think one thing that our children do wrong is they're plastering their crime all up over internet and social media. I don't see that with the mob, especially not in this day and age, and I don't see that too much. Even with the Mexicans, I don't see it too much.
Yeah, but we not really plugged into whatever their network is. The only thing that we see is people that look like us that's in the entertainment or whatever the case may be, and their information that's everywhere. I mean,
but I think everybody's saying it. I mean, like the elders, like myself, yourself. Everybody's telling these kids, man, get off of these cameras, man. I don't want you to do no crime at all.
Yeah,
stay away from crime.
If you're going to do it, don't do it on camera, dummy.
Yeah, you're a dummy if you're doing it on camera. And I think that's the problem with us is, a lot of these kids want to be, they want to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Half of them want to be rappers. The other half want to be gangsters. You know what I mean? And it's not going to work. You know what I mean? So, and again, you might just start it like these guys, YSL, you might start a business. You know, it's a group, it's an entertainment company or whatever the case may be, but it's a bunch of gangsters running around with the same tattoos on. You know what I mean? So again, when they get jammed up, everybody gonna get jammed up. You know, so unfortunately, I don't like the way I don't like what she did with that. But another thing too, man, you know, I think Fanny being, you know, who she is, man. A lot of times you're just watching these kids and you be like, yo, man, maybe her thought process, I got to do something. You know what I mean? To deter.
It's so much more that you could do. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the school of why not? Right. So I look at people like Fanny and like she's making a name off of black pain. And I dig it. They did whatever it is they did, whatever the case may be. But it's a lot of other things that you could be focusing those resources on. All the school shootings, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. All these pedophiles, the way they just snatching these kids up. You know, I was in Texas a couple of weeks ago, right? Like every 30 minutes it was a Amber Alert. They just snatching kids like that?
Well, sex trafficking and everything. Yeah.
Okay, so you have all of these real issues in the world, and y'all focusing on rappers and their lyrics, trying to come up with a case. You ain't actually got nothing. You trying to build something from somebody's lyrics.
No.
Let me ask you this question though. But if let's say for instance, and I'm not saying I agree with it. Like again, I'm done with it. I don't agree with it at all. But let's say for instance, if this case that she puts down on these guys like YSL, and it comes around and we find out that it deters crime and stuff like that, you know, in her state.
It's not.
Was it worth it?
It's not.
No.
Let's be honest.
I'm just asking, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's be honest. It's not. The criminal element in the street is always going to be there, no matter what. No matter what. Whenever you have people that don't have, and then you got people that got, you always going to have crime, no matter what you do.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that, but I believe that. I do believe that sometimes, and I'm not saying in this case, I do believe that sometimes you can hit a person in the head with some charges so bad that, you know, I'm not going to say it's going to stop crime, but it'll be like, wait a minute.
For them, they might sit down. They might sit down, but then you're going to have the next one that come up right after them. How come these black attorneys and everything don't bring America up on charges? That's where the real organized crime is. Let's be honest.
I believe that. Yeah, I'm not going to knock it.
But that's never going to happen. We don't really want to deal with a real issue. We want to act like we're doing something, but only thing we actually doing is causing our own people more pain.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next joint. You know what I mean? Just so we throw that out there. That's actually a good topic for another